We're on an adventure. She has this secret warehouse where she gets her yarns. Apparently it's this amazing crafting warehouse with all these wonderful craft supplies.
All of my friends say, girl, you better take care, cause that man is trouble, you best be.
We're a little lost. It was a tiny struggle trying to find our way here, but I feel like we're near. I'm positive that we are near. Good thoughts.
Or we could be lost.
We're not lost.
We could be.
We're definitely near, right?
Maybe.
Yes.
I actually thought this was the one, but it's not.
Wow.
We're lost.
You've instilled so much confidence in me.
Yeah, we're lost. We're lost.
We're not lost. We'll
We're
find
gonna be
it.
stuck here forever.
I mean, we can just go home. We found it! Lady G Arts and Crafts. Lots of yarn. Perfect. If you guys want to come here, I'll try to leave a pin in the description box, but it looks like a warehouse. So, you know, it might be deceiving, but they say just head on upstairs for the craft supplies. No! Are you okay now? I'm sharing it with the internet?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so cute! They have so much stuff. If you're into knitting, this is definitely the place to go. Are you gonna make me something?
We'll see.
Thank you! I can't wait! Oh, there's the green one we were looking for. Oh, there's the orange one we needed. Perfect. It's been about a week since I went to the yarn store. Since then, so much has happened. This has happened. And this has happened. The reason why I wanted to go to the yarn store was because I had this idea for a DIY present that I want to give to all of my friends. This is what we're going to be making today. Little gnome Christmas ornaments. Aren't they so cute though? So full disclosure, I got this idea from watching a video from the Sorry Girls, which I'm going to link below because they've already made a tutorial for it, so I'm not gonna redo and make a new tutorial. But this is something I've done before. I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I made these present toppers by making this hat. Just the hat, the little yarn hat with the little poof on top, and then I tied it to my present, like just kind of like as added decor, and thought it was so adorable. But Rachel from the Sorry Girls had this extra idea to make it into a little gnome by adding a little beard and a nose for a button. Now, she used wooden beads for the noses, which looked absolutely adorable. Unfortunately, I couldn't find that anywhere, so what I did instead was I have this box of buttons that I've saved over the years. You know when you get those buttons that come with your clothes for when you lose a button and you need to replace one? So I always take those out and put them in a separate container, thinking in the future I'm gonna use it. And now I have my yarn, and now we're going to assemble some gnomes. I don't know if it's just me, but looking at them, I don't feel like they look like gnomes. If anything, I feel like it looks like a Maltese. It looks like a little Maltese wearing a hat, which I think is equally as cute. These are the colors I got from the yarn store. We have the white that I used for the beard, and then our beige and red, because some hats I wanted striped, some hats I wanted just plain red. But as you can see, I also use the beige color for the beard sometimes, just to mix it up, I guess. And we have a green, which I've made one gnome in the green hat, and I gave it a little red button nose, which I think is so cute. Should I call these gnomes, or should we just call them little Maltese dogs wearing knit hats? Aside from our yarn in the Sorry Girls video, they said to make a 7-inch template or a 6-inch template. I've just been using the 6-inch one, and I find that this is more than enough. Even with the 6-inch one, I have more than enough room to keep trimming everything. And the one time I did try to use the 7-inch one, I felt like I was wasting so much yarn. So I'm just gonna stick to using this because this has been working for me. Something I am doing a little differently is back when I made this about 5 or 6 years ago, I used toilet roll, the little cardboard piece in the middle of your tissue paper, and I cut that up into little rings and used that as the base of my hat. But this time around, I didn't have time to save the old toilet roll pieces, so I made my own little rings instead, which is really, really simple. I just got a piece of paper that was a little bit heavier stock, not like really flimsy printer paper. You need something a little bit heavier that will hold its shape. And then I just cut them up into long 1-inch strips and tape them to make the little rings. I actually find these a little too thick, so I made them 1 inch, which is why the hats are really chunky here. I don't know, maybe I'll experiment with making it a little smaller, but in the meantime, I'm gonna use up the rest of these rings before I do that. People always ask like how long these things take. So to make about 6 of these took me about 3 hours, I'd say. This is taking significantly longer because I am filming for YouTube and that tends to take up more time. In the video, they just stuffed it with more yarn, which you could totally do. And I think if you do it that way, you have the benefit of if there were gaps in the hat that you're making, it wouldn't show through. But I have all of this pillow stuffing that I bought for those handmade doll DIYs that I did a while back. So I still have so much of these that I really want to use up. So I'm gonna use these instead of just using the extra yarn. So what I've been noticing is sometimes when you gather it on top to make your little bauble, it doesn't gather super evenly. You get like clumps on one side, and then as a result, you get gaps on other sides, which isn't great. So what I'm going to try to do now is, after I flip it over, I'm gonna stuff it so I know where the yarn is laying out. Then I can kind of like comb it in place. And I know there will be no gaps showing through. The yarn's not gonna get knotted up anywhere. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just kind of arranging these tips into the hat, because otherwise you'll get little edges like this, which isn't so attractive when it's sticking out. So I'm just kind of like massaging that to roll under the rim of the hat here. And I'm trying not to pull so hard because I did use like cardstock and not like any hard cardboard underneath. So you could damage the little ring of the hat there if you pull too hard. So just be gentle. This is looking good to me. That's much cleaner than previous attempts. Okay, and then let's tie it up. I'm just giving you guys tips that I've noticed from making it on my own that weren't really mentioned in the video that I'm following. So I like to knot it up, and then so you have something to hang it on the tree, I just take this edge that's been that's tying the bobblehead together, and I make a double knot, and ta-da! Now you can hang it on your tree. But anyway, as you can see, there's so much excess yarn on top, which I'm not crazy about. I find that I'm not really using the 7-inch template as much. I'm happy with what it looks like with the 6-inch template. So I think what I'm going to do is cut this one down into 5 inches and then use that to make the hat. That way you have a lot less extra yarn that you need to trim off. And then I'll keep using the 6-inch one for the beards. So far my little Christmas gnomes have been doing well. I'd say I've made about 14 of these so far. My nephew was just here and he wanted me to show him how to make the little hat, which of course he's only 3. He doesn't have the dexterity for or the patience for yet, but he enjoyed the craft so much that he asked for 2 of the gnomes so he could take it home and hang it on his tree. So I'm down 2 gnomes. But I gotta say, it's been a really fun and relaxing project to do. Like, I take the little pieces with me in the car and we're stuck in traffic. I just kind of make the little hats. So at least all the little hats are ready for when I come home. And then I just have to make the beards and assemble them, so it's so much faster that way. So it's been really calming to just like listen to a podcast and work with my hands in this way. Something else that I've been doing is I've been making the hats much smaller here. Like the cap part of the hat itself, I've been making that a lot smaller because I think it just looks so much better proportionally. Like here, if I put on the little beard. So this is the first batch that I made. You can see how much bigger the dome is compared to this new one. And I think I prefer the look of this one, which is why I'm going to remake these ones to make them a little bit smaller on top. I just think that would look better. And then maybe I'll trim the beard some more so it looks less like a Maltese and more like a gnome. Last night when I gave a set of these Christmas ornaments to my friend, I did start to worry that what if they wouldn't like it? Like what if she wouldn't understand or appreciate the gift? But today, after seeing my nephew's reaction and how he really wanted to just take one home so he could hang it on his tree, it kind of buoyed my spirits a little bit. So at least I know that I'm not the only one who finds these little guys cute. At the very least, one other person thinks they're adorable. As you can see, I'm feeling very festive today, and that is because we are finally finished with this DIY project. I am so excited. The thing is, when I start these projects, I never actually conceive in my head how long they're gonna take, so sometimes they take way longer than expected. Luckily, this wasn't as labor intensive as some of the other things that I have tried to do in the past. It was just very time consuming. But as you have seen in previous clips, I did just take my time slowly doing these throughout the course of maybe 2 weeks, but I've finally finished them all. I have a set of 6 for each of my friends here, and I'm so excited to wrap them up. They are so cute that I've decided to keep a set for myself, which is what I will be shooting for the end of this video. What I love about this particular DIY is that it's so easy to put together, and all the materials are actually quite accessible. So if anyone wanted to try it, they easily could. I bought big balls of yarn, and after all of these, how many did I make? I made 42 gnomes plus 2 that my nephew took with him. So I made 44 gnomes, and I still have all of this yarn left over. So it's definitely doable. Another option is, in case you don't want to use yarn or you don't have access to yarn, somebody gifted me a box that was wrapped in baker's twine, which I think is also very easily accessible. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, oh, you know what? Baker's twine would be really cute to use for these hats, because they have the little pattern on them already. So it would create a very interesting pattern for your little knit hats. But enough talking, let me show you how these turned out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! But yes,